Hello, I am so thrilled to be with you today. My name is Christy Garden, and I am the founder and CEO of 1000 Dreams Fund, a nonprofit which aims to help talented women in need reach their career goals and dreams through microgrants, scholarships, mentorship, and other critical resources. Through our work, we are empowering women across a variety of industries, especially where they are underrepresented, to overcome obstacles and any setbacks they may face along their educational and career journeys. We have learned from our research that those who have financial hardships or lack the right resources and mentors are often prevented from ultimately reaching their dreams. From aspiring astronauts to an Olympic athlete, we have supported thousands of inspiring women and their dreams since our founding 5 years ago. We believe it doesn't take a whole lot to make a big difference, and this is our foremost mission at 1000 Dreams Fund, to make a difference in the world by investing in the dreams of deserving women today. And that is why we are so excited to expand our work to specifically uplift women in gaming and esports through our partnership with JBL Quantum. Together, we partnered to launch the JBL Quantum Grant with 1000 Dreams Fund this year. And we are dedicated to funding and fueling the dreams of an emerging group of women who aspire to careers in the gaming and esports industry, both in front of and behind the camera. Our 30 inaugural JBL Quantum Grant winners, who are being announced very shortly, are receiving the ultimate prize package, a $1,500 grant, a JBL Quantum headset for the ultimate advantage so that no matter what part of gaming they choose to be in, they can make it their own. And finally, the ability to engage and participate in this special JBL Changemaker panel, where they will get to meet and gain advice directly from several leading women in the gaming industry today. Speaking of which, we are extremely honored to have 3 JBL ambassadors here to provide their expert guidance and advice to our 2021 JBL Quantum Grant winners. Thank you, Brooke A.B., Ninjala, and Ava G.G. for taking time out of your busy schedule to help these women prepare to reach their dreams and career aspirations in the gaming industry. It's going to be a fantastic panel conversation coming up. And we are in especially good hands with our moderator today. Thanks to Jaden LaBelle from 100 Thieves for moderating the Changemakers panel. As a producer for one of the premier lifestyle and gaming organizations in the world, we're proud to have her expertise and know-how guiding us through the important conversation we'll be having today. And as I mentioned, this panel has gathered here to celebrate and mentor our very special group of 30 JBL Quantum Grant winners, women who represent the future of gaming and the esports industry. I want to take a moment to introduce them to our panelists and to you, our viewers. I couldn't be happier to have them be a part of the 1000 Dreams family. And here they are. From esports athletes to tournament management and production to game development and marketing, these women represent the diversity of interests, talents, and passions that exist in the gaming and esports industry. We are thrilled to be able to support their dream thanks to JBL Quantum. To learn more about our winners, I encourage you to visit our website at 1000dreamsfund.org and head to our blog to learn more about each of them today. Congratulations to them all, and we appreciate to everyone who entered. Now that we have introduced our stellar group of grant winners, and before I pass the torch to Jaden to begin our discussion, I want to introduce a very special guest with a message for our dreamers. Candace Parker is one of the premier athletes of our time, with accomplishments at the highest level of college and professional competition, and the trophies to prove it. She is a 2-time WNBA MVP, a WNBA champion and finals MVP, and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Most recently, she has been announced as the first female cover athlete for the NBA 2K franchise. A staunch supporter of women's empowerment and representation at the highest levels, Candace is here with a very special message for our grant winners.
I want to give a huge congrats to the 30 winners of the JBL Quantum Grant. You all have demonstrated your leadership and passion for improving representation in gaming and esports. We are so excited to see how far you will go in your respective careers. It's great to see what JBL and the 1000 Dreams Fund are doing to support women's career ambitions in gaming and esports, and to make those industries more diverse and inclusive for all. I've faced my share of adversity over the years. Through it all, I've tried to show young women and Black, Indigenous people of color that they can break through glass ceilings, just like you all are doing now. Role models are so important, and I've seen firsthand the way that one person can impact a life. I hope that you find insight from my words and those of my fellow JBL ambassadors. JBL has always empowered the disruptors, changemakers, leaders, and the underdogs, and shown how sound can inspire the next generation to achieve their goals.
Hey guys, welcome. My name is Jaden LaBelle. I'm here with 100 Thieves, and I just want to give a quick thank you to Chrissy and Candace Parker for contributing to the conversation of advancing women in the gaming industry. I'm here today with some incredible disruptors in that space. We've got Brooke AB on deck, we've got Ninjala, and we got Ava Gigi. Ladies, it is a pleasure to be talking with you today.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Glad to be here.
Heck yeah. That's what I love to hear. We're here today with 1,000 Dreams and JBL Quantum. The grant winners just announced. That's huge. That's incredible that we are helping provide opportunities to women who are working in this space. And besides the opportunity of like financial help to like set up like, better systems, playing some rad games, we're also going to ask some questions. We're going to ask you guys some questions. You've probably never been asked these before as women in your industry, but
never.
But I've got some questions for you that everyone at home wants to know. I'm starting with Brooke, coming in strong.
Hello.
Why did streaming appeal to you? Like, what about streaming was appealing?
Yeah, I would say growing up, I always played video games. It was always my favorite pastime with friends, with my sister. And when someone originally brought it up to me, I was like, I don't even know what that is. But once I looked into it and I saw that it was more of an interactive kind of thing. So, you can do the YouTube videos or you can post a photo or a tweet, but being live and being able to, create kind of a community and talk to people one-on-one, I think is really special. And it kind of takes your content creation to the next level.
No, I love that. I see Ava Gigi giggling over there. You got something you want to contribute to the conversation? I want to know, what about streaming appealed to you? Is that relatable, what Brooke just said?
Yeah, I was just kind of laughing at what she said because there's a question I get asked often is like, when did streaming become like an actual job? Or like, when did you realize you were like, this is my full-time job, I'm an adult, I'm a streamer? And I was like, because I've been doing it 8-9 years now, and I was like, probably the first time I owed taxes back. I was like, this is okay, this is not just a hobby anymore. I have to pay money now.
Yeah.
Because back when I first started, it was I started streaming as a hobby during college, and I probably only made, I just made money off of like tips or people like subbing once in a while and stuff, because I was just a baby back then. So didn't make any money at all.
Well, take that baby to the bank now. Ava, you are an incredibly talented person, and thank you for answering that so well. Ninjala, same question for you. Any of this relating to you? What about streaming appealed to you?
Well, for me personally, I like to talk a lot. So it was one of those things that just kind of made sense. I enjoy playing video games. I enjoy talking to people, entertaining people. So it kind of just was like a natural thing to me. The same thing for me though, with not knowing what streaming was. I didn't know anything about streaming. Even when I started streaming, I kind of just like felt my way through it. So I didn't like grow up thinking that I was going to be a streamer, but it kind of just like happened to me, just like everybody else.
But to follow up, Ninjala, as women in this industry, we face challenges. We know this. These are facts. What challenges have you faced as a woman in this industry?
There's so many.
There's a lot. Pick one.
I would just say like one of the most like common ones is just like playing a game and you're solo queuing, and you just don't want to even kind of talk into the game chat because you're not sure how people are going to react to you being a girl or a woman. Like that's one of the things that I would say is definitely hard in gaming. I guess people aren't used to seeing us around, I guess before initially it was like a guy thing to be a gamer, and it was like, you know, all the boys did that kind of thing, but now we're kind of like getting our foot in the door. And I don't know, that's been really challenging for me personally, because I do play solo sometimes when I stream, but I try not to for that reasons, because I'm just like afraid of like how people are going to perceive me as a woman who games.
That's amazing. And that's what's so incredible about you guys all being here right now, is that you are all disrupting and being seen. Like, you're refusing to like fade into the background. You guys are like front and center. Ava's got this pink hair that I'm dying for right now. Same question. As a woman in this industry with pink hair, what struggles have you faced?
There's just so many. It's so hard to choose one sometimes. I really like what Jayla said, though, because I feel like it has evolved from when we first started. Like, now I can solo queue in a game and I might not get a reaction. It used to be like in Call of Duty, just one of two reactions. You either got the sexist, rude guy, or you got the guy that was like, oh my God, a girl. And both of them get very tiring over the years. Always, it's never just like a call out and then they respond. You know, like when you get that guy who just doesn't care that you're a female and you do a call out and then the game just keeps going and nothing happens, it's wonderful. I am seeing that more often, which is great. But one thing that I feel like can be really frustrating is constantly having to defend yourself, and anything that you earn or succeed at or like work for, it's always down to just the fact that you were female or you have it so easy, or just, you know, like you are constantly having to defend like your success in the industry. That can be really frustrating to deal with and annoying.
Absolutely. Yeah. The default being that you need to justify all of your reasons and shoot from the hip in that way. I love that. We're getting real here. Brooke, I have to know what challenges you face as a woman in gaming.
So
just
many.
pick one. It sounds like there's so many.
So many.
I'm so sorry to ask you, like, listen, dig through your brain.
She tweeted
find
about
the
one
worst
recently,
one.
actually.
Yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
yeah. So, I mean, and I'm sure, I mean, I know I've had conversations with Ava about this as well, and so many other women in this industry. I think that our safety isn't really focused on enough. One of my biggest challenges has been the amount of stalking that has occurred, and like aggressive, threats and name calling and all of this stuff. And I totally was not prepared for how intense that was. And the more that I talk to women in this industry, I understand and hear more just terrible stories about people being stalked, threatened, people showing up at houses, like just terrifying things. And so I hope over time that, these sites that we're on or, things like that can help provide us with tools to keep ourselves safe, really. Because I think that as it grows and more people get involved, it's just going to get worse and worse.
I love that. Being an advocate for safety within the space is so important, and putting yourself out there and sharing your stories and being the face of it is so important. And there's so little reward for that, and only benefit to people in your community. And you should feel very proud to be able to speak openly about that. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you all for like digging deep and sharing. You all kind of said the same sentiment of like, wow, which one? And I guess I just like that speaks volumes. And I think all of these, everyone watching and all of the grant winners will really appreciate this information that you guys are sharing. And that's exactly what you guys are here. But to follow up, Brooke, what advice have you received? What is the best piece of advice you've received that you would wish that you had known going into being a professional streamer?
Oh gosh. My favorite thing that someone told me, and when people come into my chat and they say, what's like one tip that you can give me? I always tell everyone, if you have the time to just go live when you can, go live as much as you can, because you never know when that person's going to come in for a follow that's going to change your career, with a host or a raid that's going to change your career. I mean, that's how I got started. Was I had someone like come into my chat and say, let's play a game right now. And that's how it took off. And so I think you're doing yourself a disservice if like you feel like, oh, I only have 5 viewers today, I'm just going to get offline and try again later. Push through that, because I think you never know what's coming your way.
Oh, I love that. So like the best advice is just sort of being ready for opportunity when it presents itself, because it's just around the corner. And these grant winners with 1,000 Dreams and JBL Quantum, you know, they're just that much more set up for that moment to happen, which is really great. I love that. And I've got the same question for Ninjayla. What is the best piece of advice you've received in the gaming industry?
I would go off of what Brooke said there, and also say that not only like is it good to like be live as often as you can, but to like be acting or like carrying yourself in a way as if like you don't know who's watching your stream. It could be somebody huge that wants to host you, or you know, somebody that has a sponsorship opportunity for you. You just never know who is watching your stream. So to always like be on your best, like be trying to put your best content forward, so that when you are presented these opportunities, like you obviously nail them, and you know, you get people to want to give you these sponsorships and these hosts and these rates to support your channel to grow.
Then I have a follow-up to that, because that's a really great point. How do you handle brands and companies when they want to collaborate you? Like, what's the best way to like have that conversation when they do approach you? And how do you like make sure that you're being represented in the best light? So
for me personally,
yeah.
That's kind of a complicated question, because I feel like some of us here, we like work with agencies, talent agencies, and usually the talent agency will handle, you know, whatever, you know, things that have to do with the brand. Like for me, the most that I do for like dealing with brands would be like if I have a meeting or something, just like showing up and like looking my best and putting my best foot forward. But also like when I do actually do the sponsorship, doing all of my talking points and anything that I need to hit, just like always being on top of what needs to be done for the sponsor. So I don't necessarily deal with brands and companies myself. But I do want to say that it is really important that people educate themselves on brands and companies, so they're not being taken advantage of. A lot of people don't know their own worth, so when they do get a deal or something, they don't really know how to negotiate it, because they're not sure exactly like of their own, like what they're worth in the space. Because when you're a streamer, you kind of figure these things out as you go along. And I've had my times where, you know, I was taken advantage of. So I just like want people to like really, really like, you know, read their contracts and have somebody that they trust read over as well too, because it's really important not to get stuck in a bad contract.
Ava, I see you shaking your head over there. In agreeance. You're nodding. You know, I want to make sure I ask you the question about what is the best piece of advice, Ava, that you've received in this industry?
That I've ever received was from I guess a friend, like a streamer, but like a much bigger streamer than me, that more established, been in the industry a long, long time. And it was just take care of your mental health. Streamers very often, we just get caught up in the grind and the numbers, and day in and day out, just sitting at our PC, entertaining, and not really taking time for ourselves. And I feel like that can help contribute to this bad cycle of, you know, getting depressed and feeling down, because you're not going outside, you're not seeing your friends, you're not taking time for yourself. And so, as my stream can attest, I take a lot of mental health days.
As you should.
I just go off and do my own thing.
I love that you have a great sense of humor about
like,
it.
Ava hasn't been home in 2 weeks. She had
this empty house somewhere.
Yes.
No, I love that. I love like not wanting to contribute to a bad cycle. So instead, you contribute to this very positive cycle of letting everyone know who's watching now that you can take care of yourself. You got this great piece of advice from this unknown, very popular streamer. And you know, now you're passing that along to men and women in the industry who can use that advice. That's a really, really good piece of advice.
It was like years ago, back when I was a little baby, and all I did was grind for like 12 hours a day. And they're like, by the way, you're gonna burn out. Like, you need to stop.
All those little babies watching right now, learning, feeding. You're giving them a great... That is lovely feedback. Brooke, same. You know, I wanted to ask you, I know you work with lots of different brands, and as well as your own brand. How do you handle brands and companies reaching out for collaborations? Was there a point early on in your career when people just reached out to you?
Yeah, so, well, Honestly, from the get-go, I did have an agent, so it's also hard. Like, my agent takes care of most of that. But I mean, I wish that I could just copy and paste what Ninjayla said, because it was perfect. Make sure that you are not getting taken advantage of. Plus, I would say work with brands that you really are passionate about. It makes it seem a lot less like work. And when you have to make that tweet or you have to do that stream, you're excited about it and you're not like, oh, I gotta go do this. Because when you're passionate about the brand, it makes it that much easier. So I would say really, be not critical, but be picky with it. Yeah, be picky with it, I would say.
Absolutely. I think women could be more picky about stuff. I love that. I love that. And I'm going to also copy and paste what Ninjayla said of know your worth. That is, you can literally apply that to most things, and it is a good idea. Know your worth. But that leads me into my next question. I'm going to go back to Ava on this one. What skills would you recommend outside of gaming that would help women or anyone in this industry, in fact?
Oh, God.
Like, you really love this question. So, like, other skills in the sense of, like, Photoshop or, like, Premiere Pro, like, other skills that you can learn that would better, like, help grow your brand?
Oh gosh, all of them. I'm so useless.
A cautionary tale, if you will.
I live off of tech issues in my stream and my community. So, simple knowledge of how computers work, pretty handy. Otherwise, you spend hours trying to fix stuff like me. Photoshop, yeah, because you want to upload to all your social media, so you want to know how to do simple edits for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I don't, so that's often a struggle for me. So basically, learn all of the skills, ladies.
Yeah, learn from me, not do as I do.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
That's
Learn from me.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. And so, Brooke, same question. Like, other skills. She's shaking her head. I don't know other skills.
Can we get next question?
Listen, I think you should. You
feel
should
like we're
do
being
this.
called out right now.
Also, can we talk about, like, how hiring people is a skill? Like, knowing that, like, I need this service and that, like, getting the right person to help you, that is a skill. That's a useful skill. It's like hiring the right people to propel yourself forward. Like, yeah, absolutely. Ninjayla, I feel like you're sitting on something good here about some skills that are important.
I'm not gonna lie, I do know how to do things.
Yes.
I don't know how to Photoshop, but I can kind of use Premiere. I did used to do my own videos. I would say the technical skills that that is going to help you out is if you know how to build a PC. If you know how to build a PC, even if you have PC problems, if you get a new part, you can put it in yourself. I did build both of my PCs. And so whenever I do have an issue with my computers, I can just I can kind of figure out what's wrong and replace the part myself if I need to. But it does save me time and money and frustration when I know I can just do something like that myself.
All right, then.
So jealous.
Yeah, I'm so jealous.
That's amazing. Ooh, come over to Austin really quick and fix my PC, please.
Now I'm going to ask maybe a more serious question. Have any of you ever considered quitting streaming?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All the time.
All right.
No.
No, 2 yeses and an okay. Then I'm starting with you, Ninjayla. Why have you never considered quitting streaming?
Wait, you said never considered?
Why have you never? Because the question was, did you ever consider quitting? And you said
I'm the one that
have
said one.
considered
I'm the one that
quitting.
said no.
Yeah, I have. I've definitely considered quitting. It was back when I was just starting to stream, and I don't know. I feel like that's the hardest part is when you don't really know exactly if you're gonna, get bigger or not. And I was averaging like 40 viewers for like 7 months, and I was like, man, I'm never gonna hit partner. I'm never gonna do all this. I was kind of like really down about it because there's no rule book or like a set of plans for you to follow in order to make it in this industry. Everybody has their own path and everybody has their own way of making it. And I just wasn't sure if it was for me and if I could handle the stress that I was putting on myself for like hitting these goals that, I didn't really have a plan a set plan on how to hit. And I was essentially doing the same thing that I'm doing right now, but I had less exposure. And I feel like that's one of the things that is really hard to accept, is the fact that, it's all like luck and opportunity. That was when I decided that I was like, maybe I should just like focus on things that I can control, like going to college, and I don't have to be lucky to do well in school. I don't have to get a random opportunity in order to be successful in that. So that's when I was kind of questioning if I was doing what I was supposed to be doing with my life. And I decided that maybe I should stop streaming. So I took a month off, and then I couldn't get past like wanting to stream again. So I just got back into it and just tried harder, worked harder, and it ended up working out for me. And I did get lucky and get my opportunity at the same time. So I'm glad I didn't stop streaming though. So I don't want to like encourage anybody to like stop doing this if they're passionate about it, but it is something really real to think about. Like if you're going to be able to afford to live the way that you do and like grind the way that you do, because I was going to school full time, working full time, and streaming full time. And so it was really hard for me to balance all those things. And I felt like I had to remove something from my life in order to get some balance.
I love that. I think like staying true to yourself and being resilient and chasing your dream. I want to know from both of you, because I'm very curious. Brooke, I'll start with Brooke.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why did you consider quitting?
Yeah, so I running back to the beginning when I talked about the stalking incidents and things like that. Last year, actually, it was, the height of it. It was the worst it had been. The FBI was involved. It was really intense. And it just got to the point, like Ava talked about earlier, where you have to take care of your mental health. And I got to the point where I'm like, is it worth me getting death threats? Is it worth my family getting death threats? My family's scared. My family's getting harassed. Addresses are leaked, just terrifying things. And it kind of put it in perspective that like, maybe all of this isn't worth it if, it's creating so many issues in my life. And I still feel that way sometimes. Unfortunately, a good portion of the stalkers were taken care of last year, but they've come back. So I still have those doubts and those fears. But I took some time off to take care of my mental health, to get some help. And I'm so thankful I did. And when I was gone, I realized how much I missed it and, how important this is to me and how much I love doing this as my job. So it really is just, it's a pros and cons, how do you choose something that you love and you're passionate about, something that can also be so damaging to your life. So I definitely still to this day go back and forth, but I'm glad that I didn't do it. I'm glad I've stuck with it, but yeah, it's definitely tough.
Yeah, I mean, a good reason to consider quitting, and I'm so happy that you're here and you're still doing it, and you're an inspiration to women everywhere who deal with this and still choose to pursue their dreams and not let it stop them from achieving greatness. Thank you so much for saying that. That's really incredible. No two experiences are really the same. I mean, you guys are offering sort of like your experiences, but it sounds like it can be different for everyone. And just keeping that in mind, that it can get really hard, like any pursuit, right? You can.
It's the entertainment business, right? Like people just think that you can just game and make money and then live your life, and it's entertainment. Now, like you used to maybe just be able to make videos on a laptop and sustain yourself, but not with the way culture is now, especially gaming culture. Like you have to be able to do so many different things, and it can be stressful for sure.
Yeah.
Because, we're very attached to numbers as streamers. You see those numbers go down, you think, oh, why am I not doing good? Why does no one watching my content anymore? Like, so
that's a really good point. You have to be
able to fight through those moments. But yeah.
Where do you see the industry moving in the next few years? And where do you see yourself? Let's start with Ninjala.
I knew you were going to say that. Answer. I'm not going to lie to you. It's really hard seeing really far ahead of myself in a space like this, because it is growing so fast and it is changing so fast. Like a year ago, or however, I don't even know when TikTok started. You couldn't have told me that TikTok was going to have so much influence on gaming, but now everybody's using TikTok in order to promote their gaming clips. And so as far as a few years from now in gaming, I have no idea where the industry is going. I just know it's going to keep getting bigger. And where I see myself at personally is another struggle, just because there is no set game plan for content creation. And so I can set goals for myself. And of course, I would love to be much bigger than I am now, but I have to be realistic with myself and the fact that a lot of people are grinding right now. A lot of new streamers are grinding. I just see a lot more competition. Not saying that I can't take it, but I'm just trying my best to figure out, I guess, the right steps for me to take as a content creator, to keep growing and to keep inspiring other people to do what we do.
Ava, same question. Where do you see this industry going in the next few years, and how do you see yourself in relation to that?
Oh man, it's hard to even predict, but one thing that I have been seeing a lot recently and that I love is just how more inclusive gaming is seemingly heading towards, right? You know, people are speaking up more and more, and we're being not okay with, you know, just being abused and hated and talked down to and stuff all the time. So you're seeing more representation in games, and like, just as a woman, like having more female leads in games is amazing. I love it because, you know, not every single day do I want to load in a video game and just play man over and over and over again. You know, so it's nice seeing more representation in games. I think like that is something that's really changed a lot in the past couple of years. So I can't even imagine for the future where that's going to lead. And then where do I see myself? I have no idea. Hopefully paying my bills still. I have many goals in life, you know, pay my bills, you know, help my mom out when she needs help. You know, I'm a simple woman.
I see it for you. Yes. But I love that. I love that you're going to be part of the conversation in the ever-changing, growing, more inclusive gaming industry. You know, not this like Mr. Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man correction, but like true inclusivity. I love that.
Pink-haired girls, you know.
Yeah, you get it. Brooke, same question. Where do you see the industry going in the next few years, and where do you see yourself in it?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, obviously exactly what they've been saying, but I think just seeing in the last even like 2 years, the jump with how many women are now streaming and playing games, it's just been a huge increase, which is amazing. And I think that like Ava said, calls for more inclusive, I can't say the word, but you know what I'm trying to say. I can't talk, which I think is really cool. I think to pair the questions together, I think we see gaming branch out outside of just, you know, where there's TikTok, there's all these crazy things that you have to do on top of just getting on your stream and going. So personally, I have taken a lot of steps this year to branch out, you know, within gaming, but I think it's important for especially us as women to create brands, you know, outside of gaming as well. And, you know, we can do gaming one day and take on something else, you know, the next. So I see myself, you know, I just got back from New York Fashion Week yesterday or 2 days ago. And, you know, I could do lifestyle, or I could do fashion, makeup, and be, you know, a gamer that does this. I think it could be kind of cool. And I think a lot of women are so talented in this industry, and can do so much more within gaming and outside. So I just see especially women skyrocketing and continuing to be very successful. And I can't wait to see it.
We definitely want to see more successful women in this industry and share that space. I love it. And also I love the sentiment of like breaking into the mainstream, like being ready for that, because that's going to happen, right? Like, you know, it's not a niche industry. It's the mainstream. Brooke did New York Fashion Week, and I'm sure you guys are also working on other projects outside of just gaming and building your brand as a mainstream talent.
Esports too, I want to mention.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see more women in esports.
Yes.
I mean, I like tried to compete once when I was younger, and I think it was like maybe 10 other girls ever tried 10 other girls with me. Like it would just be, it's so amazing seeing more and more women compete every year. Because I feel like back when I tried it was just not a thing. So really excited.
Thank you guys so much for answering all my questions. Thank you to Brooke AB, Ava, Gigi, and Ninjala. You guys blow my mind with all of these answers, and this is going to be super helpful to anyone who's watching. Now, we've got a few submitted questions by our grant recipients I'd love to take a look at. If you guys want to help me take a look at those and answer those questions.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Hi, my name is Carrie, and I'll be using the JBL Quantum Grant with 1,000 Dreams Fund for my graduate program to pursue my career as an esports psychologist. Yay! So my question towards you guys today is, what is the number one thing that people don't really tell you about the gaming industry or being a part of the gaming industry that you have to learn on your own? Thank you.
Wow, okay, so CK Curry wants to know about the esports industry and being a woman in it, how you guys handle that.
At least for me, prepare yourself for, I know people expect hate, things like that, but really make sure you're mentally ready for the amount of people online that just say the dumbest things just to get a reaction out of you. I'm sure you guys get that all the time too. It's like, I was not prepared for just how many people out there are just truly like awful people, but you learn quickly.
Have a thick skin. Yes. Have a very thick skin. You need the thickest skin in the world.
Yeah.
I had kind of touched on it earlier a little bit, but just, yeah, your mental, like take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your health, work out, go to the gym. Because if not, you will end up with back and knee problems like me.
Yep.
I wish someone had told me that when I was in my 20s, because now I'm in my 30s and I'm falling apart.
All right. Well, I'm hearing be prepared to hear all of the dumbest things. Ava hitting us with the, prepare your body, prepare working out, making sure you're staying limber, staying stretched out. And Ninjala, how do you like to prepare?
I just want to say I completely agree with both of them. like the comments that you will get when you pursue a career in content creation, that are mean aren't true, but a lot of them will make you question yourself or who you are as a person. So you really have to have a strong mental, just like strength to be able to show up every day and not let what people are saying affect you. It's really hard not to care about what people think of you, especially in a space like gaming. But yeah, people are going to be giving you opinions that you didn't ask for, and I did not realize that until it started happening to me, and it was really hard to understand, or like I would say I lost sight of who I was trying to understand why people were that way. And at the end of the day, they're just bad people. That's all there is to it. And what Ava is saying to take care of your body, I just turned 25, so I'm going through like this like quarter life crisis, and I'm starting to feel like my body's giving out on me. I would just say take care of your body for sure. It's really important right now that we start in our 20s, so when we're in our 30s,
listen, I bet you guys didn't know you could get an overuse syndrome from sitting, but you can, and it is an injury. Yes.
You heard it here first, folks. I think we're ready for our next question.
Hello, my name is Gwen, and I'll be using my JBL Quantum Grant with 1,000 Dreams Fund to continue my endeavors as a full-time content creator, as well as make equipment upgrades to my stream. My question for the panel is, how has joining top esports and gaming organizations helped you grow as a creator?
That's a good question.
I love that. Shroomple OW asked, how is teaming up with a gaming organization benefited you guys?
Well, not all of us are on 100 Thieves. One thing that I love about, well, no, because I'm personally not with an org right now, and I've never really been in too many. One that I did love was Gen G though, and what I love about team orgs is just kind of that camaraderie, that support that you get from other content creators. I've made some really good friends when I've been on team orgs, so that's just, for me, that's the greatest part about it, is just having someone to game with and hang out with, and you have the support of the org, which is nice too.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. It's at least with 100 Thieves, I feel like, I mean, I live in a house with a lot of them, so they're my roommates also, but
Could not do that. Could not do that.
they're great. They're really great, thankfully. But yeah, just, I mean, lifelong friendships. We just got back from summer camp with everyone.
Yeah, we did.
And you create these friendships that you never would have otherwise. You're surrounded with people who want to push you to be better, who are willing to help you be better, whether it's, creating content together or things like that. And then also from like a business standpoint, I mean, joining an organization for me has been really great for, bringing in sponsorships, bringing in really great deals that I would never do otherwise on my own. So just opportunity as a whole, you get, a lot of great things brought to you. But my experience with 100 Thieves has just been nothing but amazing. So
awesome. I love 100 Thieves. You got to tell me more about that. Sounds really cool.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them.
Ninjayla, any thoughts on our grant recipient question?
I guess, okay, so I'm just going to go off a little bit of what you guys were saying. For me, I joined Complexity recently, and one of the most important things for me on Complexity was that there's a lot of people there on the org that are really invested in creating representation and inclusivity and gaming, which is one of my biggest goals. There aren't a lot of Black women signed to orgs, especially tier 1 orgs. So it was one of my goals from, it's been a few years now that I've been working on it. And it's been one of my goals to create that representation and to inspire people that look like me to start gaming and to also like grind for things that they haven't seen other people that look like them doing. So I would say one of the coolest things about orgs is creating a home, but also like you're in an environment where like you're building up the org, but they're also building you up as well too. And if you're surrounded by supportive people, it definitely makes growing in this space and learning in this space a lot easier.
That was awesome, guys. Thank you for answering. Shroomple OW. Can we just talk about how great that name is? Amazing. Thank you for that submitted question. Let's go ahead and just keep rolling. Let's move on to the next one.
Sup. For those who have absolutely no idea of who or what I am known as the infamous test subject, but you can call me Infamous X1X. I'll be using my JBL Quantum Grant with 1,000 Dreams Fund to put in more upgrades for my PC, which means more power to put out better quality content. So you never know what I could do. I may be able to do a tournament next. We'll see what the future holds. But my question is for you, what impact do you want to have on esports and gaming?
Ooh, I love that. Infamous X1X, the test subject, wants to know what impact you want to make in the gaming industry.
I'll answer. I'll go first.
Let's do it.
For me, I kind of just touched on it. For me, creating representation and making the gaming space more inclusive is really important to me. There's a lot of people that grew up and, like I said, viewed video games as a space where only men could really exist comfortably. And so it's really important to me to work towards a day where women can get on and not be harassed, or no matter what your ethnicity is, that you can get on and play video games and stream and choose content creation careers and not be judged or harassed.
I love that. I feel like you said that perfectly and so eloquently. Thank you so much for answering Infamous X1X's question. All right, I think we got one more grant recipient question. If we want to take a look, let's roll the tape.
Hi there, my name is Abby Sherlock, and I'll be using my JBL Quantum Grant with the 1,000 Dreams Fund to buy a new audio setup for recording so I can pursue my dream of being a voiceover producer and director for video games. My question for our panelists has to do with advice to their younger selves. If you could go back in time and tell your 10-year-old self something, what would you tell them?
That is a really great question from Sherlock Homie. If you could go back in time and talk to your younger self. I think Brooks got this. What would adult Brooks say to 10-year-old Brooke?
I would say the only person I don't know if this is the right way to say it. The only person whose opinion matters about you is yourself. I think that I put way too much worth in what everyone else thought about me and, am I doing this right or am I making someone upset? So I think as long as you're proud of yourself and you're happy with who you are and you do your best every day to be a good person, I think that's, all you can ask of yourself. So
I love that. I feel like the child Brooke inside of you right now is just like her heart is melting, and that is so sweet. Guys, I think we have time for one more grant recipient question. How do we feel about that?
Hi everyone, my name is Marissa, aka Makeup, and I will be using the JBL Quantum Grant with 1,000 Dreams to help improve my beauty and esports broadcasting. My question for you all is, what do you see for the future of women in competitive games and esports? I'm really big into Apex Legends, so Jayla and Ava, I've seen you on the scene. By the way, congratulations again, Jayla, for signing to Complexity. There have been so many women on the rise in the past year, competitive Apex, just as an example. And I want to know, what do you all see in the future for that? I think it's going to be amazing.
Taking over. We are taking over. That is what I want.
Ava Gigi said it perfectly. Wake Me Up asked, can we just take a moment to say that Wake Me Up took her grant recipient question and just took some time out of there to congratulate you. Women are so nice.
Love it.
Oh my God, my heart is just melting with how wonderful all of you have been, and all of these grant recipient questions have been. But I don't want to take away from Wake Me Up's question. Ava Gigi, I feel like besides taking over the world, how else do you feel?
I guess we can coexist. I kind of touched on it earlier. I would just love to see more of it. I feel like it's still a rarity to see women in esports. For me, it's like 1 per every 30 guy trying to make it in esports. Think of how hard it is for just a man himself to succeed in esports, right? There's so many competing to be in the top %, to be on that teamwork, to be with a team and compete. And how many don't make it, right? So when you think of the pool of women that are even trying because of whatever reasons, society's expectations for women and stuff, women are fighting so much more. And so I feel like the pool for women who even try is so much less. And it's growing. I feel like I see more and more women trying every year. And so just for the future, it excites me because maybe one day we'll see, those women at the top winning,
Thank you, Brooke AB, Ava GG, and Ninjala, so much for being here today and having this conversation and contributing to the dialogue that is women in the space. I really appreciate everything you guys have to say. I think there were some wonderful, good pieces of advice. I love having thick skin. I love being persistent, refusing to disappear, to make noise, to be loud, to be disruptors. I love that. Thank you so much to JBL Quantum and 1,000 Dreams for making this possible. You guys have blown my mind this evening. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Jayla, I want to play Apex.